one game away. Blow up. We're playing for something, man. We're playing for something. It's gotta mean something to you. It gotta mean something. Everything you got. Everything you got. Let's finish this.
Do it, fellas.
Let's go.
Let's do it, fellas.
Finish 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
You ready to make history? Come on now. Yeah. You know, there's these two words. And when I say them, people get goosebumps cause they know what happens next. So without further ado,
Free smoke.
look. Scared cause I'm drowning in silence with bad thoughts. These days I don't have nothing to say, man, the bag talks. I put in headphones on my driver. Pull up to the spot and give a good dick and Godiva. I can't lie, I'm uninspired. No more pillow talking about nonsense. I only stick around to put some band-aids on my conscience. I don't know why I feel so bad, nigga. That's what we do, no foundation. We don't build no more, we just screw. Half a bottle of Henny, girl, I'm going with the wind. The same niggas say they happy for me, ain't want me to win. So I'm done on my friends. Don't need help popping Coronas and reminiscing. I just call up Big Bro J and say it's time for venting. If I live forever, I hold this hate for some centuries. You don't know how much I have you doing what it meant to me, but motherfuck all that. I don't even offer up the time to make the call back. Stupid Lodo, if they don't get the picture now, man, I crop them out of the photo. I can't relate to my peers. Been doing this shit for years. I'm motivated by fears. I took the wheel and I steer. My sound not dictated by fuck boys in Atlanta. Stay gifted like this album was ghost written by Santa Bars forever, like they decided to throw me under Slammer. Every song's a hit like they picture me underhanders. I could drop 1,000,000 songs, but they never gon' understand us. Soapbox sermons for niggas never giving chances. Fight our whole lives to get these weak ass advances. Work twice as hard for the shit that they getting handed. And this ain't even nothing we chose, nigga, we branded. Still can't tell why all of these niggas mad at me. I'm trying to get 100 so I can put my team on salary. Give it all to the art, man, I turn my life to a gallery. Man, damn, what a fucked up masterpiece. 1,100 shots and I swear, man, I felt them all. If we ain't even good on our blocks, man, who can we call? Pre-decline state of mind, we broke crabs in the barrel. Got us fighting our folk, man, this shit just a life of peril.
Winning has a price. And leadership has a price.
When did winning not become the main thing? I always say keep the main thing, where, you know, winning is the only thing that truly matters.
You find yourself alone, riding in green fields with the sun on your face. Do not be troubled. Brothers, what we do in life echoes in eternity.
Welcome back to another episode of Kicking It with Saint. Listen, if I get distracted throughout the episode, it's because I'm also watching the Packers-Vikings while also recording. So if I say something or I cut myself off mid-sentence or something like that, it's because I'm probably watching the game. It's probably because I saw something during the game, because I'm watching the game at the same time. But how is everybody doing out there tonight? Yo, we are a couple hours away from New Year's. It is 8:34 as I'm recording this, East Coast time. So I hope the year in review, it's been a great year for us. It's been a great back end of the year. We made some new family members over here, some guys who I've gotten to chat with and talk to throughout this year, who are family now. Like, when we blow up, I promise you, I ain't gonna forget y'all. It's been a great back end of the year. We're getting a lot of views, the subscriber count going up. Great year. We hope to be even better next year. We're gonna be even better next year. I hope you guys had a great year, man. And listen, if you did not have a great year, the great thing is we still alive. We still got time. We still got another year coming ahead of us. So let's dominate next year, bro. Let's dominate that shit the best way we know how. We ain't really trying to hear too many of the, New Year's resolution. We ain't trying to hear all that shit. We just trying to get it done. However we can. We gonna figure it out. We got a lot of games to talk about. It was somebody who commented on an old Raven video. So y'all remember that old video where I was talking about how the Ravens, the way they was playing at the time, this is not a Super Bowl team. It's not a real contender and all that type of stuff. Well, obviously, if you watch the shows, we well past that. We done talked about, come on, man, the videos we done made since that point. That video been null and void. Dude commented on that video multiple times to basically tell me where the video now or something like that. And I'm like, bruh, Clearly, you don't watch the show. Clearly. Like, bro, I'm telling you, some fans are just morons, bro. It just is what it is. But what a throw by Jordan Love. But with that being said, we had a couple games to talk about. Now, if you are a Baltimore Raven fan, and I'm sure we got a lot of those here, we're going to get to the Raven game. We're going to get to my guy, Lamar Jackson. But we got to talk about this Cowboys-Detroit Saturday night game first. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. I had every intention for the thumbnail to be a Dallas Cowboys thumbnail. But I changed my mind. I changed my mind because obviously Lamar motherfucking Jackson had a Jackson 5 today. So there was no shot Lamar wasn't going to be the cover of the thumbnail. But Aaron Jones with a big run. But with that being said, we got to talk about this Saturday night game. We got to talk about Detroit-Dallas because Detroit ended up losing this game by one. Well, first off, let's address the controversy that everybody want to keep talking about at the end of the game. Decker caught a touchdown on a 2-point conversion that gave the Lions a 1-point lead, basically. The play got called back, though, because they said he didn't report as eligible. Now, I don't know who telling the truth, who not telling the truth in this. So I could care less. I'm going to be completely honest with you. That play did not cost the Lions. Therefore, that play does not matter to me the way other people are trying to make it matter. The Lions had 2 more opportunities after that conversion. We see teams get screwed on bad refereeing every single week. It happened today. It'll happen next week. It'll happen till the season ends. To try to act as if that 2-point conversion cost the Lions when they had 2 more opportunities and they should have went for the extra point anyways. Listen, I tweeted before they even had the touchdown. They should have went for a 2-point conversion. They should have went for an extra point, and it makes no sense to be going for 2 right now. Like, you still playing for seeding. Obviously, you're not against nobody in your division, but you playing for seeding against these other top teams. You have a chance to build even more momentum with your team after beating the Dallas Cowboys. Your defense, more importantly, is having a phenomenal night in the second half of this game. Not a phenomenal night, but they had a phenomenal second half. They made the stops they needed to make. Aiden Hutchinson was unbelievable last night. That might have been his best game as a pro, in my opinion. And you threw it all away because it's popular for Dan Campbell to go for it on 4th downs or go for 2-point conversion. I don't understand that. You could have went for the extra point, went into overtime, and regardless of if you got the ball first or second, your offense just came off of a game-winning drive or a game-tying drive with no timeouts. And your defense just got multiple stops in the second half of this game. Dallas averages 40 points at home. Dallas had 21 fucking points. Why not reward your defense? Why not put faith in your defense? I understand Jared Goff was having a rough night, and I told y'all Jared Goff would probably throw 3 interceptions. He threw 2. He got 2 statted, but one of the third one got dropped. Actually, the second one that he should have thrown got dropped. But I don't understand why people letting Dan Campbell off the hook. I done said it multiple times. I don't know what Dan Campbell does to make this team better. With so many different coaches, I can give you tangible evidence of what they are doing to help their team to put players in a better position. I don't know what Dan Campbell has done for the Detroit Lions that he getting all this praise, but I can show you things that he don't do. I can show you more things that he do to hurt his team than to help his team. Last night was a Dan Campbell ego moment. You can try to tell me, oh, my players was playing like this. Bro, your defense was having a great fourth quarter. You could have went into overtime, let your defense get another stop, and then your offense come out there and win the game. And who knows, you might have got the ball first. Now, obviously, the defense could have folded in overtime, but I'm going off of what was currently happening in the game. To me, bitching and complaining about that 2-point conversion being called back, bro, that's silly. That's excuses being made. You could have took the extra point. So I'm not trying to hear none of that. To me, that was bad coaching that y'all keep letting off the hook when y'all like people, bro. That is clear bad coaching. It was no purpose in going for 2 points. You get that extra point, you go into overtime. I don't know why in 2023, bro, we act like these coaches who want to do stupid shit like this is like inventive and things like the way the game was going. Take your extra point and go into overtime. It made no sense to go for 2 other than, oh, let's get them off the field now. Or let's win the game right now. Why? We can win the game in overtime doing what we've been doing. So, listen, all the people that's bitching and complaining about that 2-point conversion being called back, Saint ain't rocking with it, bro. I don't agree with you at all. I think that was bad coaching that y'all let off the hook. Now, as far as my thoughts on the game, CeeDee Lamb had an unbelievable night. He broke the season single record for the most receiving yards as a quarterback. As a receiver. Dak had a good night. But see, this is my problem. Cowboy fans and the media and whatnot, they look at these Dak games where he put up all these stats and whatnot. And if they had a loss, they probably would have said, oh, the defense folded at the end. The Lions averaged 30 plus points a game. The Cowboys defense held them to 19. Held them to 20. Why in God's name would I be mad at the defense right now? Aside from the fact that I'm a firm believer that the defense need to get the stops and spots, which they did not do at the end of that game, and was bailed out by bad coaching. Regardless of that, if I have to analyze the majority of the game, the defense still played a good enough game to win that game. I don't understand. If you watch this game, Dallas once again played like a team that did not want to beat a good team. And when I say good team, I put quotations around it because I don't think that the Lions are an actual contending team. But if you want to say good team in the sense of they're just a good team, sure. But when I say good team and you say good team as far as a contending team, it's quotations because I don't believe the Lions are that. But the Dallas Cowboys once again played against a team that was over 500 that some people look at as a contending team. I just look at them as a decent, good team. Dallas struggled against them. Struggled against 2 of them boys last week. This is my problem. And I'm glad that I got a certain amount of evidence to show you why this is my problem. You see, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson have also played against the Dolphins and what's this other team I'm thinking about? The Dolphins and the Lions. Lamar Jackson played against the Lions, slapped them. Played against the Dolphins today, slapped them. Look at Dak. These games look competitive with Dak and these other teams because facts is just the facts. Dak is not a game-changing quarterback. He is what Tua is. Tua can have a stretch where he look better than Dak. Dak can have a stretch where he look better than Tua. Definitively, who cares who better? They both high-tier game managers. They're not a Lamar Jackson. They're not a Josh Allen. They're not a Patrick Mahomes. They're not a Joe Burrow. They're not a Cam Newton. And y'all gonna probably hear a lot of fireworks tonight. But the reality is that's why those games look the way they look. Because it's plays that's left out there on the offensive side of the ball that for some reason nobody hold Dak accountable for right now. And maybe it's because they're not interceptions. People wanted to kill him last year because of the interceptions. But remember what I just said in the last show about Josh Allen and the Bills. I said as much as I love Josh Allen, these analysts ain't actually watching these full games. Because if they were, Josh Allen is not the MVP. I don't care what the numbers say. If you watching the games, this is not even Josh Allen at his best. Is Josh Allen carrying the Buffalo Bills? Absolutely. What a throw by Jordan Love for a touchdown after an interception. if you want to say Josh Allen is carrying the Bills and they're as good as they are because of Josh Allen, I agree with you 100%. But to say that this team right now, to say Josh Allen is playing better football than Lamar Jackson right now because of some stats, that's highly inaccurate. But I know that because I've watched the Bills play this season. If you watch these games that the Cowboys is in against these elite quarterbacks or great teams or good teams, Dak Prescott is leaving plays out there on the field. It's something I want to. Okay, so one of the things that I want to talk about also, when I say it's plays out there that he's leaving out there on the field, one of the things that I'm starting to realize is, as bad as some offensive lines may play at times and things of that nature, certain quarterbacks just don't have great pocket savviness. So if you look at Lamar Jackson and some of the plays he made today and some of the plays he's just been making all season in the pocket, how he moved in the pocket to extend the play or to make a certain type of throw, to avoid sacks, that is a skill. It ain't just getting lucky sometimes. It is an actual skill in understanding how to play in the pocket. If you watch the Browning plays in that Chiefs game today, Jake Browning is god awful at pocket awareness. His pocket savviness just doesn't exist. That's why he ate 4 different sacks at the end of the game, because his pocket savviness, at no point in time can the Browns be comfortable on a drive. Why? Because at any point in time, Jake Browning can just fold. He done shown you multiple times. He'll take bad false starts. His footwork will get fucked up. He'll make bad throws because his feet not set. He don't have great pocket awareness, so it's times where he should step to the side, avoid a sack in a certain type, and he don't make those type of moves because he has no type of pocket savviness. Dak Prescott is damn near the same way in a sense. Last night, Dak Prescott on his deepest touchdown throw, a 92-yard touchdown to CeeDee Lamb, which went for that because of the yards after the catch. Dak Prescott looked down and was about to just take a safety. Somehow, the Lions missed on that safety. Dak Prescott folded and was about to just take the sack. Then he opened his eyes and looked up and realized, okay, I can get out of this now. That is not great pocket savviness. That's Dak just finding out, I don't want to say getting lucky, but that's bad defense, in my opinion, by the Detroit Lions. It's plays throughout these Dallas games where if Dak Prescott was better in the pocket, better in throughout certain lulls throughout a game, he would win some of these games. I don't even know if he would win some of these games because you get blown out by Josh Allen. You get blown out by the 49ers. Yeah, you keep playing close games with the Eagles, but you play the Eagles 2 times a year. I expect you to know how to play against the Eagles at some point in time, even though you're not flawless against the Eagles with Jalen Hurts. And I'll get to the Eagles later on, but to me, all Saturday showed me was this was a battle of 2 mediocre teams, with all due respect to the defensive performance the Detroit Lions put out there. While I do like the head coaching for the Cowboys, and I don't think coaching is an advantage in any way, shape, form, or fashion for the Lions, coaching, as far as as much as I like McCarthy, the difference he gonna make for Dallas, to me, is not gonna outweigh what Kyle Shanahan can do for his team, what Sirianni could do for his team. And to be quite frank with you, Dallas is just not trustworthy, bro. I understand you just won this game, but to struggle against the Lions and to struggle against the Dolphins, and I understand that, people are going to be like, well, those 2 great teams. Not to me. I don't look at either of those 2 teams as Super Bowl caliber teams if they go up against an elite quarterback. Now, the Dolphins can play a perfect game, and a lot of things will have to happen to beat, certain teams, in my opinion, for the Dolphins to make it. But I don't see this for the Lions at all. Now, obviously, the Lions' road would be a little bit easier in the sense that I don't think there's no elite quarterbacks over in the NFC. However, that should show you my faith in Jared Goff. But when you have a game like this, where it come down to a 2-point conversion and not being made and the coach not taking the extra point, that's a problem. Detroit not showing you that they can beat San Fran, but Dallas is showing you that they can barely beat Detroit and definitely won't beat San Fran again. Well, they haven't beat them yet anyways. Like, if you're a Cowboys fan, I don't know how you take these last two games and you confident off of them. And this is my thing. I talked to you a couple weeks ago about the Baltimore Ravens going into that gauntlet on their schedule of Jacksonville, San Fran, Miami, and it was another team. But that gauntlet of games, I said the Ravens, I already told you the Ravens was going to come out of that gauntlet of games over like with a positive record. But I said, God forbid they beat all three of those teams. I said that's just further proof that Lamar Jackson is the MVP and the difference between a game-changing quarterback and a game-managing quarterback. They won all three of those games. And they blasted the Dolphins and the 49ers. Am I not right to expect Dak Prescott to be able to get his Cowboy team to do that against one of these great teams? They do it against the bad teams. Is it not fair for me to ask him, when you going to be able to do that against one of these great teams? And I don't even think Detroit is a great team. And you couldn't do it against them. I don't see Miami as a great team. No matter of fact, Miami is a great team, but they don't have a franchise quarterback opposite. As Tua to me is not a franchise quarterback in a sense. Matter of fact, let me change that. He a franchise quarterback. He not a game-changing quarterback. He not one of them boys. So for you to go into Miami and you can't outplay Tua, like you can't get your team, like, listen, there's going to be a lot of excuses made. It's going to be a lot of, well, he do this, he do that, yada, yada, yada. I just don't agree that none of this can be on Dak. I truly believe, watching the Cowboys, if Dak was better in key moments in games and the small moments that you might not think is as important as they is, if he could do this thing or that thing to extend play. Right now, what I see from Dak is not Dak outplaying other teams. What I see from Dak is him doing what y'all tell me that Brock Purdy doing. He's just hitting the open guy. CeeDee Lamb is damn near open every play. He running his CeeDee Lamb could be argued as the MVP for this team. I don't know why that haven't been a thing with the season he having. Now, what I will say, Dak don't have a running game. He don't got a reliable running game, at least, because I do not trust or have any type of faith in I was going to say Bernard Pollard and Tony Pollard and that Cowboys run game. And ultimately, that's going to kill them against the 49ers and possibly against the Eagles, even though the Eagles playing like shit the end of the season, as they gave up a lead and lost to the Cardinals today. So the Cardinals ended up beating the Cowboys and the Eagles. That's probably why Debo, I'm realizing why Debo was still talking shiesty after losing to the Ravens like that, because he probably looked at the NFC and said, bro, we got to play against we got to play against the Eagles and the Cowboys, two teams that really ain't shown us shit over the last couple weeks, and we mopped both of them teams already. So I get it. The Cowboy, at this moment, if you're an NFC fan of any team not named the 49ers, you're probably just hoping for a miracle to happen. Some freak accident or some freak incident that'll get your team to propel your team over the other teams. Because at this point, I tweeted today, I don't know if I feel like any team in the NFC deserved to make the Super Bowl, because I don't think I done told you for multiple weeks. I understand what people say the 49ers are and yada, yada, yada. The 49ers are not the team, to me, that everybody else thinks they are. I don't see them exactly how I see the Cowboys and the Philly, because they beat both of those teams. But I do not look at them the way I look at some of these teams in the AFC. Now let's get to the good game. It was a woman who said she liked her quarterbacks to be quarterbacky. Lamar Jackson is a great athlete, but, let's be honest, Christian McCaffrey is the MVP. You know what I'm getting sick and tired of? I'm getting real sick and tired of Analysts being able to say any old racist shit they want to in the media. And nothing happens when it's about Lamar Jackson. Like, we done seen analysts say that Lamar had an advantage because his dark skin and the ball was dark. We done seen analysts say that he should play running back. We done seen analysts and GM say he should play running back, receiver. Like, how many racist ass comments can analysts get off before one of these networks finally fire them for it? Before somebody actually hold them to the fire other than social media? Like, at what point in time do these racist ass analysts have to face repercussions? Or at what point in time is it not going to be all right for these analysts to say the most ridiculous racist shit disguised as critique for Lamar Jackson? When is that going to be, when they going to end that? Because it's getting out of hand. I'm be honest with you. Some of these analysts saying some of this just buffoonish shit just makes no sense. You got tape. You got film. For some reason, we able to do that with most quarterbacks. You know, gather the film over what they done the last couple. Lamar Jackson done got better every year of his career. So that's why I've been said, I don't understand why people continue. If you keep critiquing Lamar Jackson on, oh, he don't pass the ball good enough. Oh, he don't play from behind good enough. Oh, you're racist. You don't like him. And it's really no in-betweens. He win more than about every quarterback in the league not named Pat Mahomes. He is a system in itself. He is the definition of a franchise game-changing quarterback. He is everything you would want the face of your franchise to be. Yet somehow, Josh Allen can struggle the way he do, and they'll still praise him and kill you if you try to speak down on him. Joe Burrow can struggle the way he struggled this year, and you can speak down on him. I mean, you can still prop him up, try to use injuries and all this other shit as an excuse for him, or rely on his things he done in the past. Mind you, they don't bring up the playoff success for any of these dudes except for Josh Allen, and that's when they talk about how they almost beat Kansas City, and they use that as a positive. They don't stop bringing up the fact that Joe Burrow made the Super Bowl because they know they got to put in he lost that Super Bowl. It's very interesting to me how you decide to talk about all those dudes, how you use your data with all those dudes, but you don't want to update your resume on Lamar Jackson. That's interesting. You keep praising guys like Justin Herbert. I'm seeing guys now praise Justin Fields. Somehow, Lamar Jackson is critiqued every week. That's interesting to me. When you look at a franchise, and mind you, I saw people picking Miami to win. And, you know, at some point in time, Emmanuel Acho, I just really wish he shut the fuck up on Twitter when he trying to save face when it come to Lamar Jackson. He picked the Dolphins this week. He talked crazy about Lamar this week. He tried to, he said that he said he lied this week when he was giving out takes. And he was so very clearly on his show trying to convince you that Lamar Jackson can lose his MVP today. And that he was pushing because he wanted Lamar to lose his MVP today. So when it happened, what he felt was going to happen, he wanted to make sure he can back that and go just as hard. And so when all of that fell down, came crashing down on him, he realized, oh, well, that's not going to happen. He immediately tried to tweet something nice about Lamar Jackson. I really can't stand this dude. I really can't stand. As I keep telling y'all, bro, it's worse things in the world than Shannon Sharp. I don't know if it's anybody as bad as Emmanuel Acho, blood. I really don't. This motherfucker Emmanuel Acho got to be the worst analyst on TV right now. It's between him. I don't really want to give Jason McIntyre that because he ain't actually no real analyst. He Colin Cowherd's side piece. And he not nowhere near as good as any of Colin's other side pieces, bro. Even the white woman who tried to flip that shit on LeVar was better than him. Nick Wright is god awful too, but I don't know if he not even he is worse than Emmanuel. Bro, people forget Emmanuel Acho used to really go on TV and argue that Baker Mayfield was a better player than Lamar Jackson. Like, he used to go argue that on Speak. I think it was called Speak for Yourself with Marcellus Wiley. Go look at some of the shit Emmanuel Acho would say about Lamar Jackson. Now, when you find the positive shit he say, every once in a while, understand, it's two things that's going on right now. He either trying to respond to save face from some dumb shit he had just said, or he overpraising Lamar so that when he finally can tear into Lamar, he can be like, well, I thought and I said. He done it all the time. When the Ravens was banged up, injuries left and right, you want to know what he did? And Lamar was carrying him. He said, Lamar, the best quarterback in the NFL. There's nobody better than him. He didn't believe it because of his previous views and statements. So when injuries started to really kill the Ravens because everybody was hurt, then Lamar got hurt, that's when he finally let his real feelings show. So you got to watch out for dumbass analysts like that, like Emmanuel Cuncho. Because they I don't know what it is about them in this cyclical game they play where they really don't like certain players. So they go all out to try to diminish everything. Because you know what the Lamar Jackson haters going to do now. Oh, well, he not going to do it in the playoffs. Oh, well, he not going to do it in the playoffs. Come on, man. Richard Sherman already done got back on Twitter and was hating today. Because, see, the thing with Richard Sherman is he can't take it that people calling him out for his nonsense. So he just going to keep doubling down on it. He not going to never admit he was wrong. None of that. He just going to keep doubling down on it. I'm looking at a Jack Link's Jerky commercial where the Sasquatch come in and piss so hard that it blow the toilet off the thing. That is a disgusting fucking commercial. Why would me seeing a Sasquatch piss like a missile make me want to eat some fucking beef jerky? That is an interesting ideas room. You know, the people who sat down and came up with that idea. Seeing a Jack Link's Jerky Sasquatch piss like a missile in a bathroom stall, that it break the toilet, it break the urinal. That'll make a motherfucker want to buy some Jack Link's beef jerky. Because I too want to piss like a missile. That's absolutely insane. Nonetheless, let's get into the game. Because, you know, man, this victory lap that Saint could be taking is absolutely ridiculous. I told you exactly how these games keep playing out. I keep telling you how they're going to play out. And then they play out just about exactly how I told you the games will play out. You got to also understand, I did not know Cal Hamilton wasn't playing. Brandon Stevens wasn't playing. Marlon Humphreys ended up not playing because he got hurt. So he didn't end up playing but for like a couple. Well, I think he played a quarter, but he ended up not playing basically. Pat Queen out there, you could clearly hurting. There's a lot of different injuries out for the Ravens that I did not even think about. And of course, like clockwork, Lamar Jackson just so happened to have his best passer rating game of the year. He just so happened to go out there and dominate, throwing the ball left and right. At one point in time, he had more touchdowns than completions. He only had 3 incompletions. 300-yard day, 5 touchdowns through the air. Perfect passer rating. All the good little stats that people like. Obviously, if you know me, I really could care less about stats in a sense. I want to talk about some plays that happened in the game because I already know Lamar Jackson is him, obviously. So, you know, him having these type of games don't really... to be completely honest with you, the reason that I'm probably not going as crazy about the stats as some people, because I predicted this would happen. I thought it would be a blowout, and I thought because Lamar Jackson always ball out against the Dolphins. Like I thought I saw a stat today where it said like in 4 starts against the Dolphins, he got like 1,400 yards, 14 touchdowns, 1 interception, some shit like that. Like, Lamar Jackson against the Dolphins he put on the show. That's why I keep telling you, to me, the game was much like last week for the defense, because the speed that the defense is going to have, how could they adjust to the speed? Would they stop that slant shit that Tua and the boys like to do a lot? And they was able to do that. I like how, so in the beginning of the game, I was getting frustrated because I'm like, yo, they just giving up big yardage left and right. When they finally adjusted to the speed, which It took them longer to adjust to Miami's speed than it did for them to adjust to San Fran's speed or San Fran's game scheme and game plan. When they did, however, it just became a shit show for Miami. Miami could, because this is what I tell you. When you put pressure on Tua and you don't allow him to make his first read or to hit the play that they drew up, you make it very tough for man, that is bad receiving play to me. You make it very hard, and I don't know why you do that on 4th and 1. It's not even why you do that on 4th and 1, bruh. I don't know how this receiver does not make this catch, bruh. I don't understand this layout attempt. I'm confused. I need to see this again. Hold up. Yeah, I don't know how you don't make that catch, but to me, when you look at Miami's offense and how Baltimore was able to adjust to it, eventually Pat Queen, Roquan Smith, they started to understand the depth they needed to take and the lanes they needed to play in order to avoid giving up some of those big plays across the middle. They started locking in on those slants better. Now, it was only it could also be hard for you when you don't got Kyle Hamilton, you're starting corners. You know, that's going to make the game a lot tougher for you. But when you look at how Lamar Jackson was able to play offensively, it was just one of them games where the Dolphins was going to have to put up a lot of points. They were going to have to put up a lot of points in a hostile environment because clearly Lamar Jackson came into this game ready to put up a lot of points. And I said something over the last couple weeks that continue to be proven right. As long as the Ravens receivers continue to win their routes. See, right now, Odell, Isaiah Likely, Zay, Bate, they are winning. Nelson Aguilar, they are winning their routes. Yeah, I get irritated because they drop the ball sometimes, but look at how many times they win their routes right now. Rashad Bateman winning his routes a lot lately. He just got to continue to make the catches, but he winning his routes a lot. Look at how much Zay Flowers winning his routes right now. I mean, he dominating over the last couple weeks. The catch and the throw from Lamar to Odell on the sideline. Bro, I knew that was a catch when the play happened, like after the play. Like when I was seeing the play, I was like, oh, that's 100% a catch. Like I went crazy. Because how the fuck do you make that throw and that catch, bro? Look at that catch, yo. It's like the shit happened in slow motion for me. I'm like, this is crazy. Like literally, it happened right in front of my face as I'm watching the game. I'm like, yo, this is fucking wild. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. That's why I was like, bro, y'all ain't even got to go fast. That's a catch. Like, if they throw a challenge, they about to waste the time out because that is 100% a catch. And it was 100% a catch. And, you know, Lamar Jackson make that type of throw. Odell make that type of catch. And Zay Flowers is the one rewarded with the touchdown in the end. And because of that, Lamar Jackson's just don't have good enough stats. He's no way he could be an MVP. There's no way. No way. His defense and his running backs got him all the way up the field. No shot it was Lamar. I saw somebody tweet, you know, should the Ravens go and get Marquise Brown? But you know they called him Hollywood, but I don't call him that. I call that man Marquise Brown. I told y'all. After them last 2 years he had in Baltimore, Bill, that is Marquise Brown. All right. I ain't never seen Zay go on a dropping spree in a game like Marquise did. That was crazy. I'm good on him, though. I think it'd be crazy to try to bring him back. What do he provide really for the Ravens? What he is what Zay Flowers is. So you don't need him. He not a great slot receiver, in my opinion. I like Nelson Aguilar. He a more mature route runner. Yeah, Nelson Aguilar's hands can go off at times where you just like, man, come on, bro. But he run better routes than Marquise Brown. He seemed to adjust better than Marquise Brown when Lamar is on the run. You got Isaiah Likely, who is a stud, and I don't understand. The Ravens really should be considering a 2 tight end scheme next year to get Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely on the field at the same time as much as possible. God forbid they both come back in the playoffs. I mean, if Mark Andrews come back in the play, that's a good throw. by the quarterback. Oh, Minnesota's quarterback that's starting is a rookie. I can't remember what his name is though, but that was a great throw to Jordan Addison. Anyways, back to the game. Baltimore's tight end crew, because I think even Kolar a decent tight end, to be honest with you, and I think he ended up getting a touchdown in this game too from from Tyler Huntley, who I don't even think is the second best quarterback on our roster. I think Josh Johnson better than him, but that's neither here nor there. Let's get to Miami. Because like I said about San Fran, that motion and shit, listen, I understand it worked for a lot of teams. It worked on Baltimore early in the game. But I just done seen it too many times in games this year with Baltimore. The motion shit just don't work long enough against Baltimore. Or it don't work. It don't do for them what it need to do for them to take them out of their rhythm. It just don't. I mean, if you see some of the plays they did a motion on in this game, Pat Queen just made phenomenal plays to kill the motion. And I'm be honest with you. I don't know if Miami even scored 19 points today if Kyle Hamilton played. Because it was certain plays that they was able to make that Kyle Hamilton would have been there to stop. So, while I do think Miami is a good team, I still think that Miami, to me, one of the biggest problems you can have as a football team is when you have a great offense, but your offense immediately become a mystery when one of two things happen. Constant pressure on the quarterback because you got a quarterback who really does not know how to adjust when his first option is gone. Or just either Tyreek and his weapons not being healthy or just losing his best weapon in Tyreek. I just feel like right now it's too many different ways that you can game plan to beat Miami. And that's the biggest problem because when I look at them against, like, maybe they will beat Buffalo next week, but they got a chance to lose the division now. And the biggest cause for them to lose this division is how you played against the real top tier elite quarterbacks and how you folded in some of these games like the Titans. You could have lost that Dallas game. So they done opened the door wide for Buffalo to come in and kick it down. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm more than likely taking Buffalo in that game because Buffalo just seems to have Miami's number. Now, I saw a lot of people tweeting during this game, a lot of Miami fans. Listen, you going through what the 49ers fans, the Detroit Lions fans, the Seattle Seahawks fans, all of them went through the same shit. They got their doors blown off by Baltimore. And, now you want to be a hater. You want to be a hater. You're going to join in on the stat, Lamar Jackson, not really the MVP. Listen. All that crying, it's not going to change the results. And listen, I like Miami. I told you, I would take Miami in the game against San Fran. I'd take Miami. I would lean Miami in that game. It's just a difference when you get those elite quarterbacks on the other side of the ball. As further proof, today in that game against the Chiefs and the Bengals probably should have won that game, but bad coaching by Zach Taylor is why they didn't win that game. It was a play in this game where they were running. They ended the drive changer. You would have thought would have been the pass interference they called on the player who was guarding T. Higgins because he was holding T. Higgins' arm. This is my problem. They was passing the ball and moving up the field pretty decently on that drive. They get that first down and goal line, and they run the ball like 3 straight times. They go for it on 4th down, run the ball. T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, both making plays. The tight end has some plays being made. Why do you take the ball out of your best player's hands? Why do you not give them a chance on 2 to 3 different downs to go make a play? You're in the goal line. You walk away with no points on that drive, and Dallas, I believe, ended up taking it the length of the field and getting 3. Not Dallas. Hold up. Okay, my bad. I was looking at something. But anyways, and not Dallas. I mean Cincinnati. You take it the length of the not Cincinnati, KC. You take it the length of the field. You don't get those 3 points, and you don't get a touchdown. For the not a touchdown. You don't get no points because you went for it and you ran it 3 times. But my problem was not even gonna be if you had got 3 points, it would have been irritating to me. Because you didn't give your quarterback or your receivers specifically a chance to make a play. They was the reasons you got down there. You know, when I watched this game against Cincinnati, KC definitely probably should have lost this game. More drops by the receivers, more bad route running, more who the fuck is Pat throwing it to, more of those Pat making bad plays and whatnot. Ultimately, when you play against a team with a head coach who never really ever puts his players in position to be any greater than their talent already allows them to be in Zach Taylor, you mix that with mid to average play calling by Zach Taylor, going into the era of a average to below average to mid quarterback in Jake Browning, who, regardless of how good you think he is, just take and make a lot of dumbass mistakes. It was a recipe for disaster. Joe Burrow would have won this game. And I understand most people understand that, but I'm just pointing this out to the people who was a couple weeks ago talking about some Joe Burrow, Jake Browning was just as good as Joe Burrow. To me, if you look at Jake Browning play, Jake Browning is not showing me anything special, bro. Only thing that I ever see when he have decent games is, yeah, he got a lot of great weapons who making plays happen. And that's one of the problems that I have when you take bad sacks. It was plays where Jamar Chase and them dudes was open. Just throw them the ball on that quick play and let them do the rest. Even if you don't think it's enough yards, bruh. They done made a living off of making after the run after the catch. You're not even giving them a chance and you eating sacks and Zach Taylor letting the motherfucker done been out there every week now. Season is done for him. Bad game against Pittsburgh. Rough game. Like, to me, looking at how Cleveland, yet again, has survived off of going to get Joe Flacco is further proof to me that these other teams are a bunch of dipshits. Because Jake Browning, to me, has not warranted not being replaced by now to see if they could have something better. Like, dead ass. To me, the loyalty that they done given to Jake Browning off of that one good game he done had is insane. Because I'm looking at the Minnesota Vikings switch quarterbacks in left and right. Them bitches on a roller coaster. And I'm not saying do that to your quarterback. But what I am saying is, you didn't think now one of these games you could have got a different quarterback in there to see maybe this dude give us a better chance, but if he don't, we'll just stick with Jake Browning. Because to me, Jake Browning has not played great enough to where you can say, oh, he done given the Cincinnati Bengals a chance to make the playoffs. I don't agree. Let's go over some of these scores real quick. Tennessee lost to Houston, 326. C.J. Stroud was back. New Orleans beat Tampa Bay 23-13. Of course, Baker Mayfield folded in a game of which you win the division. Now, all they got to do is beat the Panthers next week. God forbid they lose against the Panthers. Baker Mayfield did lead this game with a rib injury, so who even knows if he'll play this week, which will make it even worse if they lose this game. But basically beat Carolina, and you win next week. Arizona came back to beat Philly 35-31. San Fran beat Minnesota, beat Washington 27-10. The Rams in a close game end up beating the New York Giants 26-25. Miami, Baltimore dominated 56-19. Vegas was in Indy. They pick up the win no, they don't. Indy picks up the win 23-20. New England was in Buffalo. They lose 21-27 to the Buffalo Bills. Atlanta was in Chicago where they get slapped 17-37 against the Chicago Bears. Carolina was in Jacksonville where they lose 0-26 against the backup Beathard. The Patriots were in Pittsburgh was in Seattle where they win 30-23. Once again, Seattle was not a real contender. Cincinnati in KC, they lose 17-25. The Rams were in Denver. They lose The Chargers were in Denver. They lose 9-16 with what's my man Jarrett Stidham starting after they bench Russell Wilson for not taking that injury guarantee out his contract. Bruh say y'all almost got me all the way fucked up. You think I'm finna take an injury guarantee out my fucking contract when I play the game that I play? Y'all can suck my whole dick. But with that being said, I appreciate y'all for joining me on another episode of Kicking It With Saint. Tell somebody you fuck with him. Tell somebody you love him. You can be anything in the world. Choose to be kind to somebody today. The MVP has been locked up. Lamar Jackson. I fuck with you. I love you. Saint out.
I got the moves like hot sauce. Lil' mama taking the top off. I'm laying down getting topped off. After this, she know she getting knocked off. I know she loving the money, so I keep on thumbing and thumbing. She say she horny when she taking shots, so I keep them coming and coming. Now I'm putting dick in her tummy, scoop her up like I'm raking her something. You would think shawty red track, the way that she running and running. You getting dumber and dumber. You out here chasing the bone. After she finished from giving me dome, the Uber is taking her home. Tight.